Have you ever filled a container with colorful flowers, only to see the blooms fade after a few short weeks, leaving the pot looking empty and lifeless long before summer is over? It's a common disappointment for many gardeners. The good news is that not every flowering plant follows that pattern. Some varieties are naturally programmed to bloom continuously, producing fresh flowers month after month with very little care. Imagine containers bursting with vibrant color from late spring until the first autumn frost, even through scorching temperatures, bright sunshine, and the occasional mist watering. Better yet, many of these flowers also attract bees, butterflies, and other valuable pollinators that help create a healthier garden. A display like this isn't a matter of luck. It's simply the result of choosing plants that are bred to flower nonstop. In this video, we'll introduce 10 outstanding container flowers that bloom all summer long while asking for surprisingly little maintenance. These dependable performers continue producing flowers long after many other plants have finished their show, and several of them are also among the easiest flowers any gardener can grow. 1. Petunia, the classic flower that never seems to stop blooming. Petunias have remained one of the most trusted container flowers for generations, and once you grow them, it's easy to understand why they continue to be favorites in gardens around the world. While their dazzling range of colors often catches the eye first, their greatest strength quickly becomes clear: their incredible ability to keep blooming throughout the entire season. After becoming established, petunias grow quickly, spreading across the soil and cascading elegantly over the sides of pots, hanging baskets, and window boxes. Their naturally trailing habit creates the lush, overflowing displays that make even simple containers look professionally planted. The flowers themselves are exceptionally long-lasting. Instead of producing only a few short flowering periods, petunias continuously form new buds that replace older blooms almost as soon as they fade, creating a nearly uninterrupted blanket of color from late spring until frost. Modern varieties have made growing them even easier. Many newer petunias are self-cleaning, allowing faded flowers to fall away naturally without the need for constant deadheading. This means gardeners can enjoy beautiful displays without spending time removing spent blooms. Petunias also thrive during the hottest part of summer. While some flowering plants slow down when temperatures climb, petunias continue blooming enthusiastically as long as they receive plenty of sunshine. They perform best in full sun and appreciate regular watering, yet they are surprisingly forgiving if the soil briefly dries out during hot weather. Once moisture returns, they usually recover quickly and continue flowering without missing a beat. Their versatility is another reason for their popularity. Petunias perform beautifully in hanging baskets, patio containers, decorative planters, window boxes, and mixed arrangements, either creating spectacular displays on their own or blending perfectly with foliage plants and other flowers. As the growing season progresses, they often become even fuller and more colorful, transforming ordinary containers into vibrant waterfalls of blooms that last for months. 2. Geranium, a strong, reliable bloomer that thrives all summer. Geraniums, more accurately classified as pelargoniums, continue to be among the world's most popular container flowers because they combine beauty, durability, and dependable flowering in one remarkably easy-to-grow plant. Unlike trailing flowers such as petunias, geraniums develop an upright, tidy shape that immediately adds structure to containers. Their sturdy stems and rounded leaves create an attractive framework, while large clusters of flowers rise above the foliage, bringing bold color and strong visual impact. Even a single plant can make a container look complete and balanced. The flowers are especially impressive because they appear in dense clusters rather than as individual blooms. Available in brilliant shades of red, pink, white, coral, salmon, and striking two-color combinations, geraniums fit effortlessly into almost any garden style. One of their greatest advantages is their outstanding resilience. They tolerate intense sunshine, high summer temperatures, windy balconies, and occasional dry periods with remarkable ease. In fact, excessive watering is often far more harmful than allowing the soil to dry slightly between waterings. Their thick stems and fleshy leaves naturally store moisture, helping the plants remain healthy even during hot weather. This toughness makes geraniums ideal for containers, where soil tends to dry out more quickly than in garden beds. Their maintenance needs are refreshingly simple. Although removing faded flower clusters can encourage additional blooms, They naturally continue flowering throughout the season without requiring constant attention. Geraniums are also excellent structural plants in mixed containers, providing upright form that contrasts beautifully with trailing flowers cascading over the edges. Even when planted by themselves, they create displays that feel elegant, full, and professionally arranged. Whether grown in compact pots, large decorative planters, sunny patios, balconies, or windowsills, geraniums adapt with ease. Instead of declining as summer progresses, they usually become larger, stronger, and even more floriferous, often turning into the highlight of the entire container garden. 3. Calibrachoa, the endless cascade of tiny, colorful blooms. If you admire the appearance of petunias but prefer a plant that stays slightly more compact while requiring even less maintenance, Calibrachoa, often called million bells, is an exceptional choice. This charming perennial quickly transforms containers into overflowing displays of vibrant color with surprisingly little effort. Once established, Calibrachoa spreads rapidly, producing long trailing stems that gracefully spill over the edges of pots, hanging baskets, and window boxes. Its naturally cascading habit creates a soft waterfall of flowers that adds movement and elegance to any outdoor space. Although each bloom is relatively small, the sheer number of flowers produced is extraordinary. During peak flowering, the foliage can become almost completely hidden beneath countless colorful blossoms. Unlike many flowering plants that bloom in distinct cycles, Calibrachoa continues producing fresh flowers almost non-stop from early summer until cool autumn weather arrives. One reason gardeners appreciate this plant so much is its remarkably low maintenance. There is no need for constant deadheading because Calibrachoa is self-cleaning. As older flowers fade, they naturally fall away, while new buds open almost immediately, allowing the plant to remain tidy and colorful without regular grooming. Calibrachoa also performs extremely well in full sunshine and tolerates hot summer conditions with ease. Given regular watering and well-drained soil, it remains vigorous and blooms continuously, even during extended periods of heat. Its versatility makes it useful in almost every type of container planting. Grown alone, it creates spectacular masses of cascading flowers, while in mixed arrangements it softens container edges and blends beautifully with upright flowering plants and ornamental foliage. As the season advances, Calibrachoa often becomes denser, fuller, and even more impressive, producing an ever-increasing cascade of blooms. For gardeners searching for months of effortless color with very little maintenance, few container flowers can match the outstanding performance of Calibrachoa. 4. Begonia, the perfect flower for brightening shady containers. Begonias are among the best flowering plants for gardeners who want vibrant containers in places where sunlight is limited. If your patio, balcony, porch, or garden receives only a few hours of direct sun, these dependable bloomers can provide the continuous color that many sun-loving flowers simply cannot achieve. Their greatest advantage is their remarkable consistency. While numerous flowering plants reduce or even stop blooming in shaded conditions, begonias continue producing fresh flowers throughout the growing season. Their blossoms appear in beautiful shades of pink, red, coral, orange, and white, bringing warmth and life to areas that might otherwise seem quiet or lacking color. Their appeal extends far beyond the flowers themselves. Many varieties are equally admired for their attractive foliage, featuring glossy, textured leaves that remain decorative even during brief pauses in blooming. This combination of colorful blossoms and ornamental leaves allows containers to stay lush and appealing for months. Begonias also have a naturally compact and balanced growth habit. Rather than spreading uncontrollably, they develop into neat, rounded plants that fill containers evenly while maintaining a tidy appearance with almost no pruning. Another reason for their popularity is their adaptability. They tolerate humidity, changing temperatures, and varying light levels exceptionally well, making them equally suitable for covered patios, shaded balconies, sheltered porches, and protected garden corners. Caring for begonias is refreshingly uncomplicated. They appreciate evenly moist but well-drained soil and perform best when protected from intense afternoon sun. As long as they are not overwatered, they continue blooming steadily without demanding constant maintenance. Unlike many bold flowering plants, begonias create a softer, more elegant atmosphere, offering refined beauty instead of overwhelming displays of color. Their dependable nature allows them to brighten containers throughout the season, even when growing conditions are less than ideal, making them one of the most reliable choices for shaded gardens. 5. Verbena, a heat-loving bloomer that keeps going all summer. Few flowering plants handle the hottest days of summer as effortlessly as verbena. While many container flowers begin to lose energy during prolonged heat, verbena often reaches its peak performance, making it an outstanding choice for sunny patios, balconies, terraces, and any location that receives full sun throughout the day. Although each individual flower is quite small, they appear in dense clusters that create brilliant splashes of color visible from across the garden. Available in rich shades of purple, pink, red, lavender, and white, verbena produces cheerful blooms that continue appearing for months. Rather than flowering only briefly, it maintains a nearly constant display from early summer until autumn, provided it receives plenty of sunshine. One of its greatest strengths is its exceptional toughness. Verbena is naturally adapted to warm, challenging environments and easily tolerates intense sunlight, high temperatures, occasional drought, and irregular watering after becoming established. Mature plants develop impressive drought resistance, making them especially valuable in containers where soil tends to dry rapidly during hot weather. Beyond its colorful appearance, verbena also helps create a lively, healthy garden by attracting butterflies, bees, and many other beneficial pollinators. Its flowers fill containers with constant movement and activity, adding another layer of enjoyment throughout the growing season. Another advantage is its versatility. Some varieties remain compact and upright, while others spread outward or gently trail over container edges, allowing verbena to serve either as a striking centerpiece or as part of mixed arrangements with other flowering plants. Maintenance is wonderfully simple. Although an occasional light trim may encourage even heavier flowering, the plant generally continues blooming enthusiastically with very little attention. Verbena quietly rewards gardeners with months of vibrant color despite heat, dry weather, and demanding summer conditions. For anyone seeking containers that stay lively and colorful during the hottest part of the year, few flowers are as dependable as this resilient perennial. 6. Lobelia, a graceful cascading flower that softens every container. Lobelia brings a unique sense of elegance to container gardens, offering a softer, more delicate appearance than many of the bold flowering plants commonly grown during summer. Instead of relying on large blossoms or intense colors, it creates beauty through countless tiny flowers that blanket the plant in shades of blue, lavender, purple, or white. From a distance, these masses of blooms resemble gentle clouds of color, flowing gracefully over the edges of containers. Its naturally trailing growth habit is one of its most attractive qualities. As the stems lengthen, they spill over hanging baskets, window boxes, and decorative pots, softening sharp container edges and giving arrangements a lush, overflowing appearance that feels relaxed and effortless. In mixed plantings, lobelia often acts as the finishing element that brings the entire composition together. While older varieties sometimes struggle during periods of extreme summer heat, many modern cultivars have been developed to tolerate warmer temperatures much more successfully. When provided with regular moisture and some protection from intense afternoon sunlight, they continue flowering beautifully throughout much of the growing season. Even if blooming temporarily slows during especially hot weather, a light trim is often enough to encourage a fresh wave of flowers within a short time. Lobelia is also highly valued for its ability to improve the overall appearance of container displays. It naturally fills small gaps between larger plants, softens bold foliage, and creates attractive contrast alongside brighter flowers with stronger colors. Rather than competing for attention, it enhances everything growing around it. Its care requirements are simple and manageable. Lobelia performs best in evenly moist, well-drained soil and appreciates either partial sunlight or morning sun in warmer climates. Under these conditions, it remains fresh, full, and colorful for many weeks. In many ways, lobelia is like the final finishing touch in a beautifully composed garden. It adds softness, movement, and graceful texture, creating the layered, overflowing look that makes container plantings feel complete. It may not be the boldest flower in the display, but it is often the detail that transforms a good arrangement into an unforgettable one. 7. Zinnia, brilliant summer color that never seems to quit. If you want containers overflowing with bright, cheerful flowers from the beginning of summer until the first frost, Zinnias are among the most rewarding plants you can choose. As soon as they begin to bloom, they fill patios, balconies, and porches with bold color and unmistakable energy, turning even the simplest containers into eye-catching displays. Their blossoms are large, vibrant, and instantly noticeable. While they share the familiar daisy-like shape, zinnias offer a much wider range of brilliant colors, including fiery reds, sunny yellows, vivid oranges, rich pinks, deep purples, and spectacular multicolored varieties. The result is a lively display that brings warmth and excitement to any outdoor space. One of the reasons gardeners return to zinnias year after year is their exceptionally long flowering season. After the first blooms appear in early summer, new flowers continue opening almost non-stop until cold weather finally brings the season to a close. A single planting can provide months of uninterrupted beauty. Compact and dwarf varieties are especially well suited to container gardening because they naturally develop dense, rounded plants that fill pots without becoming too tall or top-heavy. This makes them perfect for smaller spaces where every container needs to make a strong visual impact. Zinnias are true lovers of sunshine. The more direct light they receive, the stronger the plants become and the more flowers they produce. Even during periods of intense summer heat, they continue blooming enthusiastically while many other flowers begin to slow down. Their care requirements are equally appealing. Once established, zinnias handle short dry spells surprisingly well and often perform best when the soil is allowed to dry slightly between waterings. They are also naturally vigorous and resistant to many common garden problems, making them an excellent choice for beginners as well as experienced gardeners. With only minimal attention, zinnias reward you with an extraordinary display of colorful blooms that last through the hottest months of the year, making them one of the most dependable flowers for vibrant container gardens. 8. Impatiens, continuous color for shady gardens. Many people believe that nonstop flowering is only possible in full sunshine, but impatiens prove that beautiful blooms can thrive even in the shade. These dependable flowering plants are perfectly suited to partially shaded and fully shaded locations, where many other container flowers struggle to perform. Rather than simply surviving in lower light, impatiens flourish under these conditions, producing an abundance of blossoms throughout the growing season. Once established, they quickly become covered with flowers, often producing so many blooms that the foliage is barely visible beneath the colorful display. Their delicate blossoms appear in a wide variety of shades, including soft pinks, bright reds, coral tones, pure white, rich purple, and attractive bicolor combinations that instantly brighten darker corners of the garden. One of the greatest strengths of impatiens is their remarkable reliability. They continue flowering steadily without demanding complicated care routines or perfect growing conditions. Their naturally compact growth habit allows them to form dense, rounded mounds that fill containers evenly, creating the lush, full appearance that gardeners love. Even a single plant can make a pot look abundant and beautifully established. Unlike plants that thrive in hot, dry conditions, impatiens appreciate consistently moist soil and regular watering, particularly during a warm summer weather. If they begin to wilt because the soil becomes too dry, they usually recover quickly once watered, returning to their healthy appearance within a short time. Their adaptability makes them especially valuable for covered porches, shaded patios, woodland-inspired gardens, north-facing balconies, and any location where direct sunlight is limited. In mixed containers, impatiens work wonderfully as filler plants, adding fullness while producing continuous blooms between taller companion plants. When planted on their own, they create thick cushions of vibrant color with very little effort. Impatiens beautifully demonstrate that a spectacular container garden doesn't have to depend on endless sunshine. Even in the shade, they keep outdoor spaces looking fresh, colorful, and inviting from the beginning of summer until the arrival of autumn.